Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to CO Sports Talk. And what a sports weekend this was. I mean, best sports weekend I can remember in a long time. We had so much happen yesterday, Saturday, and today, Sunday, in the soccer world, in the NBA world, in the tennis world, in the fighting world, and in the MLB world. So what a weekend it was. I mean, busy, packed. The game today was awesome. So we're gonna run through it all and give you guys a great recap of the weekend. And I'm glad you guys enjoyed the last video of the trivia. Did pretty well, uh, better than we've been doing in the past, so that's good. And we're excited to bring back a recap because we haven't talked about sports in 2 weeks.
Yeah, I mean, you nailed it on the head there. It was a huge sports-packed weekend. There's a lot to unpack, so we'll kind of go through each thing briefly, unless it deserves a lot of unpacking, or also it's going to be like a 45-minute episode. So, yeah, we'll kind of just run through and break things down for you. But yeah, it was a sports weekend for the ages and a pretty good one. So let's get after it.
We're going to start it off in chronological order here. And, starting off this great weekend was Saturday night, Argentina versus Brazil to win it all, Copa America. Messi has made it to the finals of a tournament internationally 4 times, lost all four. Lost to Venezuela, 2007 Copa America, and then lost to Chile twice, 2015 and 2016. And then, of course, lost the famous World Cup final. So, we've seen a lot, Messi fans, everyone's seen the deja vu of Messi losing the finals. So I honestly expected Brazil to win, but he finally did it. He won in his 10th tournament ever. He won the Copa America, and Argentina has ended their long drought of not winning the Copa America or a major tournament.
Yeah, I'm super happy for Messi and the country of Argentina as Messi finally gets his tournament win. And I'm also happy for Angel Di Maria as he scores. The 33-year-old has kind of struggled to find his place on this team in the last few years, but he delivers in a big way. So I'm happy for him, Messi, and this whole squad to
Yep.
finally get a win over this good Brazil team. I mean,
Yep.
led by Neymar. It's a good team. Casemiro.
That Brazil team is stacked. I mean,
Yeah,
if you
and
look at the rosters, the Brazil team is better. Obviously, Messi's the best player on the field, probably, but Brazil is better. I mean, with Neymar, Casemiro, as you said, and their defense is really solid. Thiago Silva, Marquinhos,
Thiago Silva's
and
still doing his thing, man. It's
then
crazy.
obviously they have Firmino and Gabriel Jesus. So they're a really solid team, and they're led. But I mean, they seem to really struggle to gel together. I mean, they were a favorite going into the 2018 World Cup and couldn't get past Belgium. And then, I mean, they really do seem to struggle to win, even though they're more talented. And this Argentina team just played with so much passion. It was ridiculous. I mean, people call the Copa America like a street fight just because it is so brutal. There's so many fouls. The quality of play is not good, but it's just super fun to watch because
Yeah.
that Argentina defense was straight tackling them, and they were playing with so much passion.
Yeah, the quality of play definitely doesn't seem as good as, something like the Euros, but the Euros is more kind of like technique based. But like you said, Argentina just seemed like they wanted it more and they went out there and got a gritty 1-0 win. So good job for Argentina. I mean, I'm happy for the country. So
Definitely.
we'll see how they can do in this upcoming World Cup.
Yeah, I mean, those guys are getting a little older, and they don't seem to have like that many young stars. So this is probably the last chance to win it. I mean, obviously, 2014 was their best chance. They were so close, but Di Maria, I'm really happy for him. I've always loved Di Maria, one of my favorite players. And
Yeah.
then they do have some young guys with Dybala and Icardi, who both didn't play this Copa America. But happy for Aguero, Messi, and Di Maria to get that first tournament because the 2008 Olympics doesn't really count.
Yeah. Thanks. So also happening on Saturday night was the long-awaited Dustin Poirier and Conor McGregor fight. And I mean, there was a lot of stars in the house, celebrities came from all over. But it was a pretty short fight with Poirier winning by TKO as, McGregor just completely shattered his ankle. So it was kind of rough to see, but it was pretty funny seeing, McGregor talk and chirp while he was on the ground with doctors mending to his ankles. I mean, that's what you expect out of McGregor. He's just a character. But yeah, what were your thoughts on the fight overall?
It's like the third time they fought, and I've always been a Conor McGregor fan. But I'm gonna say this honestly, I think Dustin Poirier is the better fighter, more mature man, and he's ultimately gonna win every single time they fight. Poirier was I would say better in the first round yesterday, even though obviously it was such a short fight. I would say it was better. He had a better chin, and he was on top of Poirier, or on top of McGregor, really showing leverage, and he was strong. And then obviously McGregor broke his ankle or leg, whatever it was, and they're gonna fight again. Poirier will win. Like even with a good ankle, McGregor is not good enough to beat Poirier, and McGregor just says these crazy things, and it really motivates Poirier just more and more. Now he just wants to fight him for a fourth time. He's a class act representing America. But I think I've always loved McGregor, and I'm going to root for McGregor every time. But I think Dustin Poirier is the better fighter, and he's a very solid person to fight. I mean, honestly, he played extremely. He fought that well. And now we're going to welcome on Phillip Santiago, a UFC, enthusiast. We've had him on before, and he's going to talk about the fight. Phillip, what do you think about the Poirier McGregor fight?
I don't know. Honestly, I was kind of disappointed that McGregor went out so early because of his freaking ankle. But it happens to the best fighters in the world, and I don't know. You expect the unexpected in MMA.
Yeah, facts. I mean,
Phillip, can I ask you something, man? A lot of people were saying that McGregor still had a dog in the fight, and he might have come out with it if he didn't get hurt. Do you feel that way?
I mean, honestly, I was going for McGregor, but Poirier kind of had him shut down, so I was a little nervous. And so I don't know. I think if the fight went on, Poirier probably would have won, but it is what it is. So,
facts. I mean, I gotta agree with you on that one. That's exactly what I said. I think Poirier's honestly the stronger man, even though I was rooting for McGregor, of course. But yeah, the man of cauliflower ears. Facts. Yeah, I mean, he's a menace. But ultimately, there you have it. Oh, also, the undercards, Sean O'Malley, absolute beast of a player on the undercard, and the heavyweight was a freaking electric factor.
Tank and a half, goddamn.
Yeah, 200 pounds.
Was freaking happy, Dad. Man was just chugging it out of a Jordan. Shout out to him.
Facts. Shout out to him.
That's a legend right there.
All right, yeah. And Phillip also watched Italy, England today. She was a movie. I mean, pretty fire game, though.
Yeah.
Electric game.
That was crazy.
Italy got, and he's not even a big soccer guy. Still watched it. There you go. So great sports weekend.
Oh yeah, it was packed.
Yeah, it was a whole Bible. All right, see him. I got. Thanks for the call. It was a Bible of a weekend, as you guys said there. There's a whole freaking constitution. So there you have it. UFC talk.
The whole Quran, bro.
Poirier takes it again. Before we get into some of the Sunday games, we're just going to do a little Giants talk. And we haven't talked to you guys in 2 weeks. I mean, because, the trivia contest. So since we last talked, we had an amazing series versus the Nats. #sweep. Me and Oliver both went to games in the series. And, of course, we won both. Love the new jerseys. Never take them off. We had a pretty solid series, just the D-backs. Pretty solid. And we also had a couple tough series, in LA. It was tough, not gonna lie. And a solid series against Oakland, full capacity. It was a movie. That was a while ago, but this is 2 weeks ago. And we had one that I'm forgetting about, and that is St. Louis at home. And we lost 1-3. So it's been pretty solid. Amazing way to end it going into the All-Star break. We may have injuries, but we just find a way to win, it seems like.
Facts. I mean, we're 7-3 over our last 10. Pretty good way to go into the All-Star break. Still, I got the best record in baseball, baby. I mean, people are just waiting for us to fall off, and we're still not, because we play good team baseball. We don't have a single, star, but we're just playing well. We lost, I think it was 4 games in a row, right? We lost the last game to the A's. We got swept in 2-game set by the Dodgers, and we lost the first game to the Diamondbacks. And after we lost that first game to the Diamondbacks, I was starting to get a little anxious. And I was like, oh, is this where we're proven as frauds? But no, we take the next 3. And then we have a pretty bad series for St. Louis, but then we sweep the Nationals. So kind of up and down. But I went to the game today. Gosman is just absolutely phenomenal. I mean, his splitter, his fastball combination, it's electric. People were just racking up the Ks on Levi's landing wall. It was just fire. He had 9 of them, I think. So, yeah, great outing by Gosman and great series to go into the All-Star break. I mean, you can't ask for much better than that.
Yeah, Gosman was awesome this game today, and the hitting was well. Kirk Casali's really heating up, 2 homers in the series. Pitching was good again yesterday. Desclafani went 6 innings, I believe. And I'm really starting to like the 7, 8, 9 of Dominic Leone in the 7th. I think he's kind of proven as one of our better bullpen arms as he's got better over the season than obviously 8 Rogers, 9 McGee. So that's nice. And then Harleen would kind of be our 6th guy, I think. And then Friday, Logan Webb only went 3 innings, but he was amazing. Only gave up 1 hit. So, yeah, that was due to him coming back from an injury.
Yeah, shout out Logan Webb. I mean, he was phenomenal in his 3 innings of work. He got sent back to AAA just to, because AAA doesn't really have the same little all-star break, so he can continue to build up his pitch count while the team rests. So that was a smart move there by mid-management. And Joey Bart got some at-bats and got 2 hits. So shout out Joey Bart. But with Kurt Casale playing the way he is right now, I'm not sure if Bart's going to start many games when Posey's out. Plus, Posey could come back after the all-star break. Who knows what his timeline is.
So now we welcome on Trent Melinauskas, Giants insider. And Trent, do you think the Giants are frauds at all, or do you think we will end at first in the division like we are right now, going into the all-star break?
As much as I would love to say we'll end first in the division, I don't know. I mean, the Giants, we have our ups and downs. I was at the game today. I was proud of what I saw. I was proud of my boy Casale. Being a catcher myself, it was good to see him hit that nice bomb. But I don't know.
Thanks.
Right now, I can see us doing pretty well.
I mean, yeah, I agree with you, Trent. I think this team could be very solid, but I totally agree with you. Like, it is a little worrisome, injury-wise. We've had a ton of injuries going up and down.
It's honestly kind of scary.
Yeah, it really is. But Gosman was great today. Webb was good Friday. So I'm really liking that. And so I like the Gosman, Disco, Cueto, if he stays with us, Alex Wood, and Webb pitching rotation. And I think this team could be solid. So, yeah, Giants insider Trent Melinauskas joining us from the phone.
Thank you, Trent.
Thanks for having me.
And inaugural question, thoughts on the England-Italy game today? Were you depressed?
I do not care about soccer.
So the long-awaited UEFA Euro 2020 final was today at 12 p.m. Pacific time, and the world's eyes were watching. I mean, everyone and their mama was watching this game as England took on Italy in England's own Wembley Stadium, and the thing was absolutely packed. I mean, Taylor Twellman said on broadcast it was 60,000, but it looked like 75,000 more like it. So we'll never know. But I mean, what a game this was. You can't really, understate that.
Yeah. Oh, it was amazing. And it just felt like it was just such a big stage. Like watching this game, I mean, I was just so into it. Even though there's barely any shots, there wasn't that many chances. It was still such a good game. It just felt like it was just such on a global stage. I mean, there's people from every continent, every country in the world watching this, tuning in. And that's what makes international soccer so special. Just how many people are watching this. And when Luke Shaw scored, I was like, it is coming home. I mean, Luke Shaw scored second in the game. Beautiful chance, beautiful creation by the lads from England. But it went downhill from there for them.
It did. Bonucci scoring in the 67th. That kind of shifted the momentum. But it kind of came to a standstill from there with the final 20 minutes of regular time, no score, all 30 minutes of extra time, no score. So penalties is what it came to. And wow, the goalkeepers showed up in penalties. I mean, a total of 5 blocked shots, I believe. Yeah, because Italy didn't get their 5th. So, 3 England players missed. Just absolute great job by both goalkeepers, especially Pickford. I mean, Pickford had some class saves. But yeah, what are your thoughts on the penalties and how stressful that must have been for those young England players and Italian players?
Yeah, so I mean, first of all, Gucci Bonucci, great goal to tie it up 1-1. And just shout out to Gucci Bonucci and Cellini. Those guys are just class. I mean, they're grit. They use grit. They don't have flashy haircuts. They're not young. They're not have a ton of Instagram followers, but they are just super good at defending, and that's all they know. And they're so passionate for the country. So I just love that, and I love how those guys got a ring. But yeah, for extra time, it was actually a pretty good decision, I thought, by Southgate to take out defenders like Kyle Walker and put in Rashford, who can shoot pens in the past. Mm-hmm. But the way he did it, I thought he put him in a little too late. So his first touch being a pen is just a little bit risky. Yeah. So being that also Saka taking the 5th penalty when he's 19 years old versus Sterling, who's been all over. I mean, Sterling should have taken a pen in top 5. But I mean, in the pens, first we had Harry Kane from England drilled it in. Harry Maguire, beautiful. He's been classed all tournament too. The Harrys drilled it in. And then for Italy, they made their first one and missed the second. So without Insigne, Chisea, and Immobile, they somehow were able to win this. Yeah. Jorginho even missed. And when Jorginho missed, I was like, oh, they're going to win by now. Because Pickford, I mean, it was over for England. They lost hope. Jorginho missed that pen. Pickford carried them, but then Saka just missed. Poor guy, only 19 years old. Huge moment for him. Moment probably caught up to him a little, but he has a bright future.
Yeah, he doesn't deserve any of the hate going to him right now. It's just honestly disgusting. But yeah, Italy was an interesting strategy. I mean, they took their 3 best attacking players and the 3 best finishers on their team out. So they did not get to take the penalties, but it didn't matter. Really great job by Gigi Donnarumma. I mean, really taking the throne from Gigi Buffon as, the Italian goalkeeper, one of the best goalkeepers in the world, if not the best already at the age of 22. So, I mean, the kid is special, but he really showed that tonight, blocking 3 shots. I mean, one of them was just a miss, but it counts as a block shot. So,
yeah, Rashford, that was tough. I mean, you got to hit it on target at least, but
yeah, I mean, he had the goalkeeper going the wrong way, and he still
overthought it with that dance. I don't like the dance. I think you just do what Harry Maguire does and just drill it in top right. That's the better.
Yeah, I mean, easier said than done, but it's just class shots by Bonucci and Maguire. By the way, those were and Kane. Those were all nice pens. So yeah, just the final definitely lived up to the hype. Lots of penalty games though in this Euros. Elimination games. I don't really want to call it a playoff, but
yeah, it was a great Euro. It really was. That was an amazing Euro. So much passion.
Was
awesome.
Yeah. Wish Turkey would have won it, but
yeah. But Italy deserves it. I mean, awesome job for the Italians winning it. They didn't make the World Cup in 2018, so an amazing bounce back for them from the World Cup 2018 all the way, not making the World Cup, all the way to winning the Euros. So they have a great future. Great. The reason it was they had a great mix of just old guys and young guys, in the back of Verratti, Jorginho, Chiellini, Bonucci, and then all the young guys up front. So that really helped them.
Yeah, Insigne, he's really fun to watch. So, I'm looking forward to the future of this Italian team. Like you said, some players are going to age out. Like Chiellini he's definitely coming to the end. 37 years old.
Maybe one more World Cup.
34, I believe. So, that defensive line is going to get a lot worse, but
yeah,
attacking is young and bright.
For the Azzurra, great job for them. For the 3 Lions, the Lions, I mean, it's tough because this was their first time since 1966. So you got to look at it positively. I mean, first time in 1966 making the finals. First time in my mom's lifetime, my parents' lifetime making a final. That's crazy. So kids in England are lucky. However, it's like, when is it going to come home? Because this was their easiest chance ever at home. Pretty easy way. I mean, they were so close. But who knows? Maybe 2022, Qatar.
1966, my dad was a 1-year-old baby living in England. So it was probably going down over there. Probably a nice party scene over there. But yeah, it's awesome for England finally making it back in 60 years. So.
The fans were electric. I mean, I want to go to Wembley like that soon too. That was electric. But at the end of the day, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. England, Italy, your 2021-2020 Euro champions. Love to see it. Congrats.
All right, let's move it on, baby. Congrats to Italia.
Wimbledon happened this morning. What a weekend in Europe. We're going to come out as well of Tour de France. But Wimbledon this morning, my GOAT, Novak Djokovic. I want the smoke, Oliver's grandma. Novak Djokovic is the GOAT. Now they're all tied at 20 Grand Slams each. But I think Djokovic is obviously closest to the prime of the 3, and he's going to win the most because he's younger. And he was truly amazing. I mean, the guy just won the French Open, proceeds to win Wimbledon. Don't count him out for the U.S. Open. Novak Djokovic, my GOAT. Great job for him. Yeah,
I mean, I think you're right about that. He's going to win the most because he is the youngest and he has the most time. But yeah, it's awesome that we're witnessing a great era of tennis. I mean, these are the 3 greatest tennis players we've ever seen, and they're all playing at once. Yeah. I mean, both have 20 Grand Slams, tied for the most ever. I mean, it's just crazy. So
Italian dude, Italy almost got 2 in one day, not quite, but still.
Yeah, I mean, you can't spoil him too much. But yeah, congrats to Djokovic. I don't like the guy that much, probably because my grandma influenced me not to like him. But Nadal's still better. Yeah, so shout out to Djokovic. Once again, American doesn't even make the quarterfinal. But shout out to one American made the round of 16, Sebastian Korda. Lost 10-8 in the 5th set, so he was very close. But once again, CO Sports Talk strives to see an American win Wimbledon, American men. We
And
need
in
it.
the women, Ashley Barty, Australian, won it. Double singles, probably some Serbians. The Eastern Europeans are very good at it. Mixed
They all
doubles.
have super long last name.
Yeah. So good for Novak Djokovic once again. My goat wins it, and Federer lost, by the way, 3-0. Saying 3-0 in sets. Djokovic would never do that. My goat. But yeah, so there you have it. Djokovic. They're all tied at 20 in Grand Slams. I mean, tennis is electric. Talking tennis here.
So Tour de France concluded today with American Sepp Kuss winning it all. I mean, he ends a 10-year American drought for Tour de France winner. I mean, you can say Lance Armstrong, but a little asterisk. Still still respect him. I mean, he's kind of a beast, but let's not get into that right now. But yeah, congrats on the American winning a huge race in Europe. I mean, came in there and dominated. So congrats to Sepp.
Yeah, shout out Sepp Kuss. Interesting name. Good for him. He hit us up, wants to be on the show, wants to be on the podcast. We said no, so we want to apologize to Sepp Kuss, but he will be on soon. So good for Sepp. Don't know much about biking, not gonna lie, but I'm happy for him. Lance Armstrong, my goat, first American win in 10 years. So good for America, dominating at every level. Seems to be, showing how good we are.
Yeah,
so yeah, shout out Sepp Kuss.
Yeah, Sepp Kuss. He has hit us up on Instagram. He only had 2,000 followers, and his bio just said cycling. So we didn't really know at the time what he would become. But shout out Sepp, and we regret our decision.
Yeah, he'll be on soon though. Just wait. Stay tuned. All right, move on to U.S. soccer. All right. Our second to last topic before we end this amazing sports weekend recap is
third to last.
Copa de Oro. Oh yeah. Gold Cup. Gold Cup just started off yesterday with a Mexico tie versus Trinidad and Tobago with their A team, by the way. United States has our C team, D team here. Only Melinauskas, a couple of Europeans. None of our good players. We picked to make UEFA Nations League our main event this summer for World Cup qualifying. But Mexico, since they lost, they're so down bad. They need their full squad, or else, their coach, they'd be crucified in Mexico City. So yeah, they lost Trinidad, or they tied. Sorry, they tied Trinidad and Tobago. The Mexico fans are honestly getting ridiculous. They need to stop their chant because yesterday in the 90th minute they did their chant, and the refs had to bring all the players in the middle, wait 2 minutes, and the Trinidad and Tobago players were like, please keep doing it, because then it delays time. They're obviously playing for a tie. So, I guess they're doing it out of protest. I hope Lozano gets better. It was not the best officiating. But yeah, Mexico, tough tie. USA won today, 1-0 versus the Haitians, but I don't want to hear it because Haiti's president just died, so the Haitian players had a big chip on their shoulder. So it's not like it was a bad win.
Yeah, we should have won by more, but
No. But Haiti's players had a chip on their shoulder, man. So it's all good.
I know, but that should have made them better. Oh yeah, I see.
Yeah, it made them better. So
okay.
It would be 5-0 if the Haiti president didn't die, but since they did,
rest in peace.
We were nice to them because, they're
going through it. May he rest easy. But good win for the U.S. Not that good of a win, but we'll take it. Win's a win. Help us remove. So us and Canada, as Canada, snuck by Martinique with a score of 4-1. So it looks like U.S. Canada might advance, or it could be U.S. Haiti.
Yeah. So who do you like out of each group? I like obviously Mexico out of Group A for me, and I would assume USA out of Group B. I like Qatar out of Group D. Qatar somehow finagled their way into the Gold Cup.
Yeah.
Last time I checked, not in CONCACAF, but I don't know how they got in.
Yeah, me and Casey were texting about this. We're not really sure how they managed to, sneak in here, but they did. So shout out.
Little Qatar got in. And Group C, I actually like the Jamaicans. I think they have a pretty good upside, and I think Leon Bailey's playing.
Them or Costa Rica for sure. Assuming Keylor Navas is playing. I'm not really sure though. And then Group D. Not the greatest teams here, but probably like Panama or Qatar.
Yeah, Qatar's former Arab champions. So who knows? They got the World Cup coming up. They're hosting. So we'll see. But I think they should just combine Copa America and Gold Cup every year. That was such an amazing tournament in 2016.
So it's such bad quality.
Yeah, that was so fun in 2016. Do that every 4 years, it'd be sick. But whatever. So yeah, there you have it. A little Copa del Oro, whatever it's called, Gold Cup. USA, if they somehow win up the C team, Mexico is officially down bad. So we will see. We'll keep you updated. Good win for the USA today, though. USA 6 tournaments in the last 20 years. England 0. So there you have.
So the MLB draft was today the most irrelevant out of the four main sports in the U.S. draft. I mean, NHL no one really cares about. It's just those two are kind of irrelevant. But Giants picked Will Bednar out of Mississippi State, right-handed pitcher who kind of led Mississippi to that title of theirs and was voted most outstanding player in the College World Series. So good pick for the Giants. I think what we really needed was pitching in our farm system. So we really got someone who can come up, maybe be the successor to Johnny Cueto, or maybe fill up that fifth spot sooner or later, because I think he's going to be major league ready sooner rather than later, maybe in like 2023. So good pick.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Will Bednar, great pick, especially because he's older. As you said, he'll be ready faster. He didn't go to he's not from high school, and he's a winner. Won at Mississippi State. So I love it.
Yeah. Also, shout out to the Mets for getting Kumar Rocker at 10. That's just unbelievable. What a steal. I mean, he was projected number 1 for most of the season. Then he had some troubles in the playoffs. Kind of slid down a lot of draft boards and was projected, like the 5 to 8 range. But for the Mets to get him at 10 and maybe have a potential rotation with DeGrom, Syndergaard if he comes back, and Kumar Rocker, who's going to be up soon because he's pretty much major league ready. It's scary up there in Queens. So good job for the Mets. That's pretty much the highlights of the draft for the first round. I mean,
and we welcome on Cormac White talking about the Giants pick today. What do you think about the Giants pick of Will Bednar?
I thought it was a good pick. We saw Bednar's stock rise during the College World Series. Obviously, he pitched Game 3 shutout versus Vanderbilt. I think Bednar could be a possible middle of the rotation guy. Obviously, he's a plus fastball sitting mid-90s and that dominant slider. Really so slider, fastball combo. He has a change, I'm pretty sure. And I think Bednar was a great steal. I wanted Gunnar Hoglund just because I'm an Ole Miss fan, but I think Bednar is a great pick. We need pitching. In the minor leagues, our strengths are contact hitting and up the middle hitting, and we definitely didn't need a shortstop. So I'm glad we took a pitcher.
Yeah, thank you, man. That was a full try-hard analysis. But yeah, Will Bednar, he'll be in the rotation soon because, yeah, good for him. All right, thank you, sir. All right, so there you have it, MLB Draft.
So Game 3 of the NBA Finals was played today, and the Milwaukee Bucks finally got their win, as they have been dominating Game 3 through 7 of the playoffs so far. They drop the first 2 to the Nets. They swept the Miami Heat, of course, but they played really well in Game 3 and beyond, and they continue to show that. So do you think the Suns should be worried at all, or do you think, the way that the Bucks have played, down the stretch of the series, or do you think the Suns still have this in the bag?
No, not worried. Suns in 5. Just because we're recording it today, recency bias, but Suns won Game 1, Suns won Game 2. So, they won it pretty handily. They're a better team. Giannis is alone. Chris Middleton, its inconsistency is really getting exposed this series so far. Very inconsistent. Game 2 was abysmal from his part. DeAndre Ayton stayed somewhat consistent. Devin Booker, his 3-ball, once it goes in, he'll be fine. I think the Suns will win this, but Game 1 and Game 2 were solid from the Suns. They beat the Clippers pretty handily. And the Milwaukee Bucks, they did beat the Hawks, so I stand corrected. That was a bad take by me.
Yeah, it's true. But yeah, I've been saying Suns in 6. I'm not sure if I've said it on this podcast, but people like my family's been asking me. I say Suns in 6, and I stand by that. I think that's still gonna happen. So yeah, Suns 6. Casey says Suns in 5. We'll see what happens. They have one more game in Milwaukee before they go back to Phoenix. So we'll see what happens with this.
Before we end it, shout out Tampa Bay Lightning getting a gentleman's sweeps for the Montreal Canadiens.
Right. Respect to the Tampa Bay Lightning, back-to-back champs. Casey's not a huge fan of them, but they're champions and they deserve their 2 rings, the 2 Mickey Mouse rings. And so I just want to talk about the hype surrounding this finals. I mean, there just doesn't seem to be many. It doesn't hit the same. People are like, oh, I don't like the same teams in the finals. But as soon as there's two different teams in the finals, no one watches. So
Yeah.
Yeah, this finals just doesn't
One
feel.
thing that's to do with it is it's in July, a month later than usual, when it's at the same time as international soccer. I mean, it's a little bit different. MLB's like All-Star break's about to happen. So that's interesting. So early June is an amazing time for it, but you're right, it isn't hitting. I mean, today there was so much going on at once. It was tough to tune in, but I do think it has to do with the teams a little, both more small market teams. But at the same time, I think people are the fans are into it, at least. Like Phoenix has great fans showing up, and same as Milwaukee. So I think people are getting a bit into it. Later in the series has been in the past too.
Yeah, I'll be happy for both fan bases, no matter who wins, and so. Yeah. So that's gonna do it for this episode. We talked about a lot. It's probably gonna be a long episode. We didn't even talk about each thing a very long time, but there's so many different things to talk about. This is probably gonna be a long episode. We'll see once we put this into our editing software. But yeah, we will see you guys next week. Anything to add, Casey?
No, just an amazing sports weekend. We'll see you guys next week. We talked about a ton. The fight, Copa America, Euros, Wimbledon, NBA, tennis. No, I just said that. Giants, Gold Cup, MLB Draft. I mean, getting ridiculous at this point. Shout out Phillip Santiago, Trent Melinauskas, and Cormac White, all joining us for this episode too.
Yeah. So good luck editing this one, Casey, as I'm gonna head to bed soon. But good night when you're watching this. Good morning, and see you guys next week. Love you guys. Peace.